Sirius, blood, and power. These were the twin obsessions that defined the reign of Henry VIII. Dark. By January of 1547, England's most infamous monarch was dying. Bloated and broken, his body decayed from the inside out, yet his mind remained sharp enough to sign death warrants from his sickbed. Reflective. Once a golden-haired prince, admired across Europe for his athleticism and charm, Henry had become a grotesque shadow of his former self. Grim. His legs were riddled with foul, oozing ulcers. His breath reeked of rot. He required mechanical devices just to move. His weight, some say, neared 400 pounds. Somber. Those who entered his chambers at Whitehall Palace were met with a sickly sweet stench of decay, barely masked by incense. Soft. Physicians tried everything: bloodletting, herbal remedies, even potions made of powdered gems. Nothing worked. Informative. Modern doctors believe Henry suffered from diabetes, gout, and possibly a bone infection called osteomyelitis, which would explain the constant agony in his legs. Calm. Opium dulled the pain but clouded his thoughts. He slipped in and out of delirium, raging one day, whispering ghostly confessions the next. Haunting. He dreamed of the wives he'd executed. He spoke of Thomas More and Anne Boleyn standing at his bedside in silent judgment. Uncertain. The once mighty king, who had defied the Pope and created the Church of England, now wavered between Catholic rituals and Protestant doctrine. Haunted by doubt, tormented by fear. Sirius. Outside the bedchamber, powerful factions circled. His son, Edward, was just 9 years old. The Duke of Norfolk, a longtime rival, was sentenced to death, proof that Henry remained ruthless to the end. Intense. Then, on January 27th, a violent seizure struck. Henry's right side was paralyzed. He could no longer speak. Reverend. Archbishop Cranmer, summoned to his side, asked the king to squeeze his hand if he still believed in Christ. Henry did. It was his last act. Stillness. He died before dawn on January 28th. Ominous. But even in death, the king cast a long shadow. Grim. His body decomposed rapidly. The lead-lined coffin split open during his lying in state, leaking fluids onto the floor. Dogs licked the remains. Ceremonial. The funeral procession was grand. Horses draped in black pulled his massive coffin to Windsor Castle. Effigies portrayed him as he had been in his prime, not as the monstrous figure he had become, sad. Henry was buried beside Jane Seymour, the only wife who gave